in Florida with commentators Dusty Rhodes, we all know and love, and the man of Sax, Byron Saxton, also in there on the play-by-play. After that Kurt Hawkins match, Courtney Taylor, who's kind of like a bit of a Lillian Garcia, I felt. Perhaps they've got eyes on her, maybe being that lead announcer on Raw one day. It would be nice. I'd always prefer her over Justin, is that his name? So Courtney interviewed Tiffany, former ECW general manager Tiffany, who was then interrupted by the Straight Edge Society member Serena Deeb, who welcomed Tiffany back to the Florida Championship Wrestling arena, but said that look how far, essentially, you've fallen, is what she was saying in a roundabout way. Of course, Tiffany did work a match on Smackdown this week, and now being in FCW and perhaps having that promo cut on her by Serena, it looks like, at least in FCW, Tiffany may be working Serena and perhaps training up now to become more of a competitive diva in the ring. She's a fantastic looking woman, and it has to be said, just put her back on TV ASAP.
Yeah, I thought Tiffany looked absolutely great on TV this week. And a nice replacement for a diva I've always liked in Cherry from Deuce and Domino fame. A little bit of that kind of vibe going on with the look.
Yes, that's what happened. Courtney interviewing Tiffany. Serena Deeb came out and basically said that she is the dominant diva in Florida Championship Wrestling, challenging Tiffany. Will Tiffany go forward and do better than Serena in a match sometime soon? I think so. Now, Johnny Curtis, he took on the very flashy Percy Watson, whose ring entrance is fantastic. Lots of strange colours, inverted or made brighter. I'm not sure what they do, but Percy's entrance looks fantastic.
Yeah, it kind of has a psychedelic feel and a weird electronic mishmash, acid buzz kind of thing. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it looks pretty cool, and I think Percy Watson is pretty cool, actually. The entrance is probably the highlight of it. The in-ring skills leave a bit to be desired, but yeah, he went over with Johnny Curtis, so the push is there for Percy, definitely.
Indeed, last week I wondered what Percy Watson was all about. He was teamed with NXT's Darren Young last week. They were in fact a tag team. This week on his own, shining much more as a singles competitor, and certainly the gimmick made more clearer in my eyes. I couldn't get him last week, but this week seeing him on his own with that entrance, and indeed when all that gimmick was stripped away and we were left with just the man and his wrestling gear, he looked like a fantastic performer at that point.
Yeah, looked like a fantastic performer, but that's the key word. But yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I'm kind of sold on it.
Percy Watson, he took on Johnny Curtis. Moving on, as you alluded to earlier, Justin Gabriel was part of the Abraham Washington show, which of course we once saw on ECW. Abraham, like quite a few others from the ECW roster, now being demoted a peg or two, back at FCW with his Russian counterpart taking over, if you like, from Tony Atlas's spot, a lady called Oksana. And the strange thing is that she does that Tony Atlas laugh as well. And I thought that was Tony's gimmick. I don't think Oksana should be stealing that gimmick. But that's what happened. Justin Gabriel then came out. Abraham Washington interviewing him. Justin, of course, is the FCW champion.
Yep. He's the heavyweight champion down there, yeah. And yeah, it's funny how they don't mention these kind of things on NXT. Like, you see the footage from anyone from Heath Slater to Wade Barrett on NXT, and you see all that footage from FCW, but still I'm sure it's not a big scale thing down there, and it is their little, I suppose, kind of warm up territory for the big leagues. But Still, would be nice to mention that he is the heavyweight champion down there. But interesting to see that little segment with Abraham Washington getting demoted back down to FCW. Where he goes from here is anyone's guess. I'm not a big fan of him. I don't think he's funny. I thought the ECW segment was always a fast forward moment, and Oksana with that laugh wasn't any bit funny, any bit entertaining. Like you said, it was Tony's gimmick, and yeah, that was funny because he could pull it off, but she certainly can't. And then the arrival of Caval.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah, a great wrestler, but absolutely atrocious on the mic. I think it's his voice, or else, geez, it's just so bland and boring. I mean, if he's the future of the business, we're in trouble, you know. But
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed, Low Key, now known as Caval in FCW. Certainly, he is involved big time there. He's in the Florida Championship Wrestling title picture, and he came out to the Abraham Washington show and let Justin Gabriel know that his time as the champion there, and his days in fact, could indeed be numbered. And it looks like going ahead we're going to see some sort of face-off between those two guys. Interesting to note that these guys are double jobbing, if you like. They're on the NXT, and even if they're not featured on the television, we know they're backstage, and at the same time they gotta get on that plane and go back to Florida and do that groundwork.
I thought the exact same thing. It was funny to see even Wade Barrett come out, and I had the exact same thoughts. He made the trip down to Florida and for his segment, and I'm sure that's what you have to do, comes with the territory, but must be a bit of a pain in the ass, I'm sure, to go back down to do the tapings down there, but comes with the territory, I suppose.
Now, another element of FCW that's very impressive right now is the Divas division there, and each and every week they have a nice selection of divas. You've got not just great looking girls, but a couple of girls who can work. One of the girls we're quite high on here, we mentioned her last week, the queen of FCW, AJ Lee. This lady was in another match this week, singles competition versus Naomi Knight. Two great divas there, and now with the release of Maria and with people like Melina and now Mickey James on the sidelines with injuries, they got to be worrying about their spots with so many great girls coming up in FCW.
Yeah, I think you'll see both of these move very quickly up to the main roster in a similar fashion to Alicia Fox, who has definitely won me over as well, even though it took a little bit of time, but she's got that look, and definitely AJ Lee has the look. I think she looks great, works great. Mic work I haven't seen too much of, but she kind of reminds me of Taylor Wilde a little bit with her kind of in-ring ability, I suppose. And I think the sooner she gets called up to one of the main shows, the better, because she's definitely got a really good look, and she's got that WWE feel, and not even in the model turns wrestler buzz, but proper Gail Kim style, just a good all-round talent, I suppose.
Certainly AJ Lee, very, very impressive when she gets into the ring. She does that beautiful people style entrance, if you like, where we get to see a bit of an eyeful at times, but certainly look and work, AJ Lee, top marks indeed, and we can see her in WWE pretty soon. AJ Lee went over there, she wrestled a match like it was a knockout match from TNA, two good workers. You got to hope that perhaps they're trying to do that with divas in WWE. Maybe they might be trying to move them to more of a competitive style product. Maybe they fancy seeing them wrestle rather than just look good.
Yeah, I think so, and it's a bad time because people, you can see the difference between the people who've been around the block and done the indie shows like Serena compared to the model turned diva I mean, there's so many at this stage I've lost count, but yeah, they need more of that. They need the proper foundation work, I suppose, talent to